it's Corey, and today you're going to learn how to play an easy version of Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver. The first thing you're going to want to do before you get started playing on this song is make sure your ukulele is tuned. Today I'm going to be using a tenor ukulele that has a low G on it, so just so you know, that is still a G, it's just an octave lower than typically you hear on ukuleles. This is something that I added to this ukulele, and you can't do it to all ukuleles. You have to make sure that they can take wound or like metal strings, so make sure to double check that before you try adding on a low G to your tenor yourself. Once your ukulele is tuned up, it's time to look at the chords you're going to need for this song. Because this is an easy version, I did take the chords and I lowered them by a whole step to make it a little bit easier for us to play. However, if you're interested in using these chords to play along with the original, you can just add a capo to the second fret there. Make sure to retune it in the new tuning of those strings and you should be all set. So if you have a capo on your second fret, while normally the strings would be G, C, E, and A, your new tuning would be A, D, F sharp, and B. For this song though, we're going to be looking at some easier chords so you can get started playing on this right away. The first chord we're going to be looking at is going to be the C major chord. To make the C major, you're taking your third finger and then placing it on the first string, third fret. The next chord we're going to be looking at is a D major chord. This chord is going to take place all on the second fret here using fingers 1, 2, and 3. You're going to take your first finger, place it on the fourth string, then your second finger is going to go on the third string, and your third finger is going to go on the second string. Next, we're going to be using the D7. Now, we're using the easy D7, and this is only going to be played once in the entire song. So you're going to take your first finger, place it on the fourth string of the second fret, and then take your second finger and place it on the second string of the second fret. Next, we're looking at an E minor chord. To make the E minor, you're taking your first finger and first placing it on string 1 of fret 2. Then you're taking your second finger and you're going to place it on the second string of the third fret. Then you're taking your third finger and you're placing it on the third string of the fourth fret. Next, we have the F major chord, and that's going to start with your first finger placed on the second string of the first fret, and then your second finger is going to go on the second fret, fourth string. And finally, we have the G major chord. So of all the different chords here today, G major often ends up being the trickiest for people, but it can be really easy if you just take some time to get really familiar with it. Also, make sure to keep your thumb placed about behind the second fret because it's going to give you the space you need in order to be able to reach these chords. So to make that G major, taking first your first finger and then you're going to place it on the second fret, third string. Your second finger is then going to go on the first string, second fret, and then your third finger is going to go on the third fret, second string. And that's your G major. Once you're really familiar with all the different chords you're going to need, and when I mean familiar, I mean you can make all these chords without having to look directly at the chord charts, you're going to be in a pretty good place to be able to move on. Luckily, we have a really simple strumming pattern for today, and we're going to be using it through the entire song except for at the very end where we'll end on a single down strum. And that strumming pattern is the island strum. Now, we're not adding checks or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's just the simple demonstrated on the C major chord. It's just the down, down, up, up, down, up. So demonstrating that a little bit slower, it's down, down, up, up, down, up. You're going to be playing this strumming pattern throughout the entire song, and it's not going to end until the very end of the song where you end the song on a G chord. Some people find it really beneficial to know how many times they're going to be playing a strumming pattern per chord. For this song, most of the time you're going to be playing 2 strumming patterns per chord. So for instance, we start on a G major chord, so you'll hear this down, down, up, down, up played twice for this G major chord. And then I would switch to the next chord. What's great about this song is it does have a general progression in the verse and then a general progression in the chorus that it follows. The bridge section is a little bit different, so there's not a really firm progression, but we can at least go over the verse and the chorus so you're familiar with that. For our verses, that progression is going to start with the G major chord. You're going to do 2 strumming patterns for that. Then you'll move to an E minor. Again, you'll play 2 strumming patterns. Then you'll do the D major and play 2 strumming patterns. And then you're going to end on the C to a G. The only difference here is you're only going to be playing the strumming pattern once for the C and once for the G. After you're done with that, you're going to repeat that whole thing again, and then you're done with your verse. That's the same pattern we'll do for each of the verses. So the whole thing playing is going to sound like this. And then you'd play it again. For the chorus, it's going to be a little different. We have a progression of G for 2 strumming patterns, then D major for 2 strumming patterns, then E minor for 2 strumming patterns, and then C major for 2 strumming patterns. And you're going to play that entire thing twice. So the progression will sound like this. And then you repeat, and that will be your entire chorus. If it helps you to remember, in the play along, I will have little brackets over the chords that you're only going to play for 1 strumming pattern, and then any unbracketed chords will be played for 2 strumming patterns. In the bridge, you're going to be playing a lot more with just 1 strumming pattern per chord, but again, I have it mapped out for you in the play along. But here's a little preview in case you need it. 1, 2, here we go. I hear her voice in the morning now, she calls me. The radio reminds me of the home far away. Driving down the road, I get the feeling that I should be home yesterday. So you can see on the E minor to the D, I only played the strumming pattern once per chord, and then the same thing with the C to the G on the radio reminds me, and then also with the E minor to the F to the C to the G. I think in the entire song, that little bit there, driving down the road, I get the feeling that I should be home yesterday. I think that is almost the most difficult part in the entire song, not because of what you're playing on the ukulele, but just because of the singing part that you have over top. At the very end of the song, after you're done with the bridge, you're going to go back to the chorus, play that twice, the entire chorus, and then you have this outro section where you have the "Take me home, country roads, take me home, country roads." Now you can see in this little outro, I'm just moving between my D major and my G major chord, playing for 2 string patterns each, and then once I get done with that twice, I'm just doing a single strum. Now you could do this with your finger, but I think it adds a little bit more dramatic effect if you slowly play that last chord with your thumb instead, being careful to pluck through each of the strings. In all though, those are all the different parts you need to be able to play this song. If you're at all looking for the song sheet for this song so you can put in your own notes, or if you even would like to play in the original key where I have everything what the actual chords would be without having to add a capo, you should check out my Patreon because I have all those resources there in addition to all my other song sheets and resources for all my other tutorials and play-alongs. But otherwise, that's all you need to know to be able to play the song, so let's give it a play-along. 1, 2, here we go, and almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountain, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country roads, take me home. Down country roads. All right, and so that is an easy version how to play John Denver's Take Me Home Country Roads. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're at all interested in having a play along with it being in the original key, let me know and I can take a look at playing that together. Like I said, I have the song sheets for both this version and the original key on my Patreon if you're interested in checking it out. Also, just to kind of be aware, I definitely play the song a little bit faster than the recording, so, you know, do what you want to do, make it your own. You can also definitely add a lot of different other strumming patterns into this and have variation between the strumming pattern if you prefer as well. But again, this is just a really simple version to give you the pieces you need in order to make the song your own. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey, it's Corey again. I just wanted to take a second and thank my Gold tier members from my Patreon. Every month they give their very generous support, and those people are Rosemary Bristol, Glenn Clement, Harry Payne, Yuki, Stefan Ramirez, Nadia Rogers, Bradley Carter, Matthew Newton, Andrew Atbury, and Chad Taylor. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and thank you to all my Patreon members. Bye!